We are so back, baby.
Subscribe.
Red Dragon Archfiend is really good in Yu-Gi-Oh's new Genesys format, so you know it's absolutely time to dust off the old resonators and once again show the masses the sheer power of our favorite Dark Dragon synchros. If you're looking for a deck that costs pretty much no points, is full of one-card combos, has versatile interruptions, can OTK on a whim, and is all about big badass dragons, look no further. Also, Jack Atlas said you should hit the like button. So with the release of Genesys format, I've needed to piece back together the old Red Dragon Archfiend deck, which meant logging into the Facebook trade group and seeing if anyone could hit me up with a goods special delivery, because locals was coming up fast. And Courtney surprisingly had a lot of stuff from my list. They sent us a couple of extras as well. So quick little opening before we get into the deck profile here. I have taken pretty much all the cards out of the top loaders already, so don't worry, they didn't actually come like this. But yeah, we got a little note here to Revs, aka the king of YouTube. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but we'll take it, we'll take it. I just wanted to take the time to thank you on behalf of myself and the wider Yu-Gi-Oh community. During the 2020 pandemic, your videos really helped bring some light during what was a challenging time. Watching from scratch is what really helped me through those months and got me back into the game I loved since being a kid. Keep doing what you do, and one day I'd love a duel. Courtney. P.S. Have some freebies on me. Courtney, thank you so much for the cards and helping me out here. Let's see what we got. You didn't have to send us anything extra, but yeah, here's all the cards that I purchased. It was quite a good deal as well, by the way. One Swords of Concealing Light. We got the triple Stone Sweeper. I do plan on only playing two, but it's better just to have the third. We got a secret rare Scarlight. Very, very nice. Secret rare Void Ogre Dragon, just because we are going to be playing Supe, so if I'm not playing Ultimate Slayer, I can put the Void Ogre Dragon in. We got the Bestial Dispatter, of course. 3 ultra rare Resonator Calls. We love shiny cardboard. Supe, there was no Duskwalkers, but I think I am going to be able to get Duskwalkers off of Kami today. We got a ultra rare Catalyzer. Love to see it. And 1 Obsessive UV Loop as well. And then we have... what's inside here? Oversleeves? Yeah, like fire oversleeves, I guess for the extra deck, right? Yeah, literally 15 fire oversleeves, definitely on brand with the Red Dragon Archfiend, which is going to be really sick. We'll actually stick our extra deck in here, so that's going to be sick. And then we have everyone's king, baby, Jack Atlas himself, and there's a mystery card in here as well, actually. We have, yo, dude, secret rare Red Nova Dragon from the old tins. We actually do play Red Nova Dragon now. So secret rare Red Nova Dragon is very much appreciated. Courtney, thank you so much. This is one of the only synchros that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend, funnily enough. So this is what turns on Red Zone, and that is why this card is actually good in the deck. That's gonna be sick. We got some really nice shiny extra deck pieces. Time to now piece the deck together and take it to locals, baby. Courtney, once again, thank you so much. Alright, so online in Genesys format, I have about a 90% win rate with this deck. This is going to be our first locals, and it's not like the optimized list I want to play because I wasn't actually able to get all the cards I needed in time. But let's take you through the list that we are going to be playing anyway. So, starting off with our tuner access, we have 3 Soul Resonator. We're playing 3 because Droll's pretty prominent, so if you can start with Soul, then you're able to at least combo a little bit through Droll. 3 Resonator Call and 2 Stone Sweeper. Stone Sweeper is a hard once per turn, so gone down to 2 of that instead of 3. And we're also playing 2 Crimson Gaia as well. So that's 10 cards that gets us access to a tuner or, you know, a 1-card combo if we're going for the Soul Resonator. But onto the non-tuners, I'm playing 3 Bone Archfiend, 3 Supe. I'm a big Supe believer. You can play into Shifter a lot more frequently if you are playing this card. And I discovered a new kind of like high ceiling combo involving Supe or, you know, any non-tuner special summon that gets you to the Red Rising Dragon. For example, Wandering King Wildwind. These are supposed to be Void Apocalypse, okay? 2 Void Apocalypse. I just don't have Void Apocalypse. I wasn't able to get it in time, so I thought the best replacement would be 2 copies of Wildwind, because not only does this also contribute to the combo I just mentioned with Supe, and we'll show you that combo in a minute, but Wildwind is also good into Shifter as well, so that's why Wildwind's in here. It's supposed to be Void Apocalypse, like, ignore this. 1 copy of Wildwind in the side is, you know, ideally what you want to be doing, but Void Apocalypse, okay? Then we are still playing the the Catalyzer because I like this with the Crimson Bone line into Nibiru, or, you know, giving us a continuation through Nibiru. It's also just a level 4 non-tuner. You can combo with the Crimson Resonator, of course, and you can also special summon this alongside the Crimson Resonator, which once again can get you to that full board in the combo I'll show you later. Yeah, that is essentially 9 non-tuners, 10 tuners. I am playing Skullmeister, so that's going to add to the non-tuner count if we are going down like a Crimson Resonator combo. But yeah, moving on to the rest of the engine, we're playing the 1 Crimson Resonator, the 2 Vision Resonator, the 1 Synchron Resonator, the Uvoloop. Of course, we got the Majora's Mask, the Supe, and the 2 traps, Red Zone and Fiendish Golem. I think in terms of like cutting down on the bricks, it's not 100% needed in this format because, you know, it's not like dropping hand traps or die. But if you do find yourself bricking way too frequently, you could potentially cut down one of the traps and like a Vision Resonator, although the second Vision Resonator is very nice. So this is all of our engine pieces, and altogether in the main deck, this costs 0 points. We have 1 card that costs points in the entire deck, that's Dispatter, and that's 10 points. So we have 90 points to play with, and we have spent all of that on hand traps. We have 3 Droll and Lockbirds, 2 Ash, 2 Veiler, 2 Nibiru, 2 Ghost Bell. You can use this defensively as well. If your opponent tries to DD Crow your Crimson Resonator, for example, Bell can stop that, and of course DD Crow is free, therefore it's popular in the format, and Bell is good at countering that. And then we also have the 2 Skullmeister, searchable, Fiend Monster, level 4 non-tuner. Sometimes you can struggle to deal with your opponent's Ultimate Slayer. It's such good value. Like, sure, you can chain Red Zone, chain Abyss to negate the Ultimate Slayer, but then the Malong in graveyard just outs whatever other body you have. So Skullmeister is also good at trading into an Ultimate Slayer and, you know, allowing you to keep your on-board interruption. I'm not 100% sold on this exact non-engine lineup, but this is just what we're running with today. 3 Ash would be nice, but Ash is 15 points, man. That's a lot of points. The only difference in this list to what I would ideally be playing is literally just the 2 Void Apocalypse instead of the 2 Wild Wind. So yeah, that's the main deck. Let's get on to the extra deck. In the extra deck, we're playing 3 Red Rising Dragon, 1 Quibelt. We're playing 2 Scarred because I didn't have any of the kind of like niche level 8 synchros. We have 2 Red Dragon Archfiend, 1 Scarlight, and of course the Void Ogre Dragon. We have the Abyss, the Bane, the Dispatcher, the Red Nova, and the Supernova Dragon. Ideally, I would be playing 2 Red Rising, I wouldn't be playing the Void Ogre, and I would be playing 1 Scarred. And these would be 3 targets for Ultimate Slayer, because Ultimate Slayer is really good in this format. I would very much like to be playing Ultimate Slayer. I only had 1 in my binder. So yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't quite worth subbing out the extra deck for 1 copy of Ultimate Slayer, but in an ideal world, that's what we would do. And then moving on to the side deck, literally, this was just thrown together with whatever I had in the staple binder. I was missing a lot of the cards that I actually wanted to play. So we're playing 3 Twin Twisters, 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 3 Enemy Controller, 3 Dark Ruler No More, and then 1 Ice Dragon's Prison, the 3rd Skullmeister, and a DD Crow, because I literally had nothing else to put in. I would like to be playing like Ultimate Slayer, Mistaken Arrest, Swords of Concealing Light. There's so much better options than we have here, but you know, this was fine, I guess. Yeah, that is the entirety of the list we're going to be playing at locals. I will now show you the strongest combo I have discovered with the pure Red Dragon Archfiend deck. Okay, here we go. So the high ceiling combo in the deck just requires a non-tuner special summon. For example, Supe or Wild Wind can work here as well, or even Catalyzer if you have like another Fiend to discard. But yeah, Supe plus pretty much any 2 engine pieces, like Bone Archfiend plus Resonator Call works, Vision Resonator plus Crimson Resonator works. You know, there's many different combinations that you can use to get to this final end board. But yeah, we are going to start by getting access to the Crimson Resonator, so we're going to activate the effect of Stone Sweeper there, adding the Crimson Resonator, and then here we're going to activate the effect of Supe, discarding the Crimson Resonator to special summon itself and a Supe from the deck. If you have a brick in hand, you can special summon the Crimson and, you know, discard the brick for Supe so that you don't have to care about a DD Crow. Here, we can continue playing through a DD Crow anyway, so it's not like the end of the world. But yeah, there's things you can do to play around certain hand traps if you really, really need to. But yeah, anyway, we are going to synchro summon these 2 into the Red Rising Dragon. Red Rising Dragon is going to summon back the Crimson Resonator, and then we'll activate the effect of Crimson, summoning out Synchron and Soul. Now on summon, Soul is going to activate, adding whichever engine piece you're missing We have Crimson Gaia in hand, so we are going to grab the Bone Archfiend to the hand here. And now we're able to go into Red Supernova Dragon. If we get Nibiru here, we just keep playing with these two. We still have our normal summon as well, remember. So we are going to synchro summon everything here into the Red Supernova Dragon. And Synchron is going to trigger adding back, it doesn't really matter, but we'll add back the soul anyway. Then we're not going to use our normal summon here. We are instead going to activate the effect of Bone, sending the free soul back to the graveyard to special summon it. Then we'll activate its effect, targeting the Red Supernova Dragon. We'll send UV Loop to the graveyard and increase Supernova Dragon to level 13 because it's funny. From here, we're going to activate Crimson Gaia and activate its effect, getting the Vision Resonator to hand. We have a 5 or higher Dark on the field, of course, so we can special summon the Vision Resonator for free, and then synchro with our Bone Archfiend into an additional copy of Red Rising Dragon. Now we're going to go chain 1 Red Rising, target Soul Resonator, chain link 2 Vision to add a spell or trap. So Vision will add Fiendish Golem, and Red Rising will summon back the Soul Resonator here. Now you might think, okay, we just go into Abyss, set Fiendish Golem and pass. That's not what we're going to do. We are going to activate UV Loop, targeting the Red Rising Dragon in graveyard. So that's going to get banished, and UV Loop's going to come back to hand. We are then going to normal summon our UV Loop and synchro with our Red Rising on field to summon Bestial Dispatter. And now, Dispatter can summon the Red Rising Dragon back from the banishment, and then we can synchro with the Soul Resonator into the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, set our trap, and pass turns. We have all 3 of our boss monsters on field, plus the trap. You could go for Red Zone if you want to, for the double Supernova Banish, but then if your opponent, for example, Kaiju's the Supernova, or, you know, like Super Poly's Abyss plus Supernova, your Red Zone and your Dispatter are dead. So if you keep the Fiendish Golem live, you at least have 4 different points of interaction, with 2 pieces of interaction making the Dispatter live. Pretty much the highest ceiling board you can make with this pure deck in Genesys format. And of course, we also have our 2 cards in hand, which can very likely be hand traps like Droll, Bell, you know, Ash, Niv. You've seen the lineup. But yeah, very, very strong board. I don't think this is really getting cracked in Genesys format. If the opponent starts with, say, like a Dark Ruler no more, we can always chain the trap and then chain Abyss, target the Dark Ruler. Red Zone would actually be better here against Dark Ruler, but Fiendish Golem is also kind of fine because you can just banish the Abyss, chain the Abyss to negate the Dark Ruler, and then Dispatter and Supernova are still live. You saw the 2 cards in hand. But yeah, very, very strong board. Literally, this did not come up in playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly because we shifted to the Centurion version of the deck before actually studying in depth all the different lines. This literally just came up while I was playing Genesys and freestyling with the deck. Very, very cool, very good combo, and hopefully we can pull it off at locals today. So yeah, let's see how we do. First ever Genesys event in person. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be fun. For the first Genesys feature match here, we're up against Gao on Adamancipator Magnet Warriors, which is definitely a deck, and we do win the dice roll. So let's get into some Genesys gameplay. It's time to duel, baby.
Good luck, have fun, I guess.
Now, our opening hand here is an actual disaster. 5 hand traps. We literally cannot play the game, so we have to just straight up pass turn. Over to Gao, he starts by normal summoning Analyzer and activating its effect to excavate the top 5. We chain Veiler here, and unfortunately that's like the only hand trap we have that affects his deck. We do have Nibiru, but he just attacks for 15 and passes turn. We draw a Crimson Resonator, so still can't play the game. Pass back to Gao. He activates Tuner's High. This allows him to discard a monster and then summon from the deck a tuner that's 1 level higher and shares the same type and attribute as the monster he discarded. It was a level 3 Magnet Warrior, so he summons another Analyzer from the deck and then uses its effect to excavate 5. He needs a non-tuner rock here, but whiffs. Honestly, we were kind of hoping he would get a summon off of it just to potentially make our Nibiru live. However, it wouldn't have mattered because he proceeds to normal summon Kokimiru Guardian, which is just a monster negate. He can't do much else from there, so he just goes into the battle phase and punches for a fat stack. In the end phase, reveals Alpha for his Guardian. Then it's over to us. We top deck a Skullmeister. Unfortunately, with the Guardian on the field, it's too little too late. We do try to play the game. We activate Crimson to special summon. We normal summon the Skullmeister and then synchro into the Red Rising Dragon. If we activate it, it's just going to get negated and destroyed, so we just have to go battle phase and punch over the Guardian and pass turn. Gao starts with his Analyzer effect once again here, and off rip reveals a Guardian, which is great for him, bad for us because it means Nibiru is just unfortunately not going to be able to do anything. We have like double Droll and Bell in hand as well, and just none of it has come up. But yeah, he normal summons the Alpha the Magnet Warrior and then synchros into Dragite, which is just going to be game on the spot. Scoop him up. Alright, game 2, we actually have a playable hand this time, so we're feeling good. We start with Resonator Call, adding the Crimson Resonator, and then activate its effect to special summon itself before normal summoning the Bone Archfiend. Crimson plus Bone, of course, one of our best combos, going to be able to put up a board regardless of which interruption we get hit by. We Synchro into the Red Rising, summon back the Crimson, Crimson effect summoning out the Soul and the Synchron, and then Soul adds Salamander Catalyzer on summon. Synchroing everything on board into a Red Supernova Dragon is going to trigger the Synchron in Graveyard to add back the Soul, and then we'll activate the Catalyzer, revealing the Soul, discarding the Catalyzer to special summon the Soul back to the field. We're going to send another copy of Soul from the hand to grave to special back out the Bone Archfiend, and then we'll activate its effect, targeting the Soul Resonator on field, dumping a Vision to decrease Soul's level to 2. Vision will then trigger, adding us a copy of Crimson Gaia. We're then going to Synchro into another copy of Red Rising, summon back the Soul Resonator, and then immediately Synchro those two into the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Finally, we're going to activate Crimson Gaia and its effect to grab a red zone from the deck, set that, and pass turn. So we essentially have a double banish on the Supernova and the negate with Abyss, but Gao is going to start with Ultimate Slayer, sending Black Rose Dragon for cost, targeting the Hot Red. He didn't have them along, but it wouldn't really have mattered anyway, but yeah, we chain the red zone, chain Abyss, target the Ultimate Slayer to negate it so that we keep her body. He then follows up with another Ultimate Slayer, sending Stardust this time. We're just going full 5Ds, but yeah, that resolves, shuffling back the Supernova unfortunately, and we have no more interruptions on board. He summons Beta off of Unexpected Die, and then follows up with Magnet Induction, which summons Epsilon from the deck, and this has a very long effect, but basically, you can Bell the effect, so we stop this with Bell. He then proceeds to normal summon Analyzer and use the effect. I do have Veiler in hand, but if I use it here, I then just get cooked by Dragite, so I have to pray that he doesn't hit a Guardian, and thankfully, he does not hit Guardian. He does, however, hit the other Beta, the Magnet Warrior, so he summons that, and on summon it searches for a Magnet Warrior monster, I believe. He then synchros into a Dragite and uses the effect to excavate and then bounce cards. We hit that with the Veiler, leaving him with no answers for the Abyss. He can't even beat over it, so he just has to pass turn, and we are off to the races, baby. There's no waters in his graveyard, so Dragite is just a vanilla. We start by activating Crimson Gaia, adding back Soul Resonator from the graveyard. We then normal summon and add a copy of Vision off of its effect. We send that Vision to the graveyard to summon back the Boner, and that's going to trigger the Vision, grabbing us a copy of Fiendish Golem from the deck. We're then going to activate the effect of Boner, targeting Soul. Gao chains his Beta, tributing itself to summon an Epsilon from the deck. I don't know where that leads, but we're just going to negate that with Abyss anyway. Resolving Boner, we're going to dump a UV Loop and reduce Soul's level to 2. It's a little bit of an awkward line to nuke his board, but I figured it out. We activate UV Loop in grave, banishing a Red Rising to add itself back. We then activate its effect in hand, banishing the other Red Rising to special summon itself. We go Red Zone, summoning a Red Rising Dragon, because I was going to synchro with that, but then I realized what the actual line was. We synchro with the Boner into the Scarred, then the Scarred plus the Soul into the Dispatter. Scarred is going to trigger, summoning out Red Dragon Archfiend, wiping those attack position monsters, and then of course Crimson Gaia is going to summon back the Scarred on resolution. We probably took a bunch of unnecessary extra steps, but that is game on board right there. Game 3, we're going second. We open a very awkward hand, and our only interruption is a DD Crow. Gao starts with Unexpected Die, Chain Primite Roar. He summons out the OG game promos, Beta and Gamma, and then normal summons a Seeker using its effect, revealing a whole bunch of non-tuner rocks, actually, including a Guardian. He doesn't go for the Guardian, though. He summons out the effect monster Gamma, which on summon is going to summon a Beta from hand, which on summon is going to search for an Epsilon. If only we had Nibiru, man. His entire rock field would be cooked by the big rock. He synchros into the Raptite, revealing 5. He does reveal a Guardian this time, unfortunately, so we have a monster negate on the board. He's then going to overlay his 2 level 3 Magnet Warriors into a Gorgonic Guardian. This thing is a quick effect. It's kind of like Imperm, but it also changes the monster's attack to 0. But yeah, over to us, we start with a Stone Sweeper, adding a copy of Synchron Resonator to hand. We're then going to follow up with DD Crow, targeting the Primite Roar. We activate Crimson Resonator in hand to special summon itself, and then from there, our win condition is just inherent synchro climbing. We normal summon Skullmeister, synchro into the Red Rising Dragon, don't activate the effect, special summon a Vision from hand, and synchro into Scarred. That's going to trigger the Vision. Gao sees where this is going, so he does negate the Vision effect with his Guardian, and then we special summon our Synchron and synchro into the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Chainlink 1 Scarred, Chainlink 2 Synchron target Vision, and he is going to lose his monster, so he chains it, targeting the Abyss. We just chain Abyss, targeting the Guardian, and then from there we're just kind of chilling. So resolving the chain, we get vision back to hand, we summon out Red Dragon Archfiend, and his monster gets destroyed, but we can't really extend much from there, so we just have to go into the battle phase. Beta can't be destroyed by battle, but Red Dragon Archfiend's effect is going to clear both defense position monsters, allowing us to punch with Abyss for 3200 damage, and reborn a tuner from graveyard. We summon back the Crimson, synchro into Dispatter, and then reveal the UV loop we have in hand, targeting the Scarred. It's going to special summon itself and banish the Scarred. Then we'll go Dispatter, summon the Scarred, just so we have the protection with Soul in graveyard, and pass turn. Gar proceeds to normal summon his Epsilon and activate its effect. We chain Dispatter, shuffling back his Roar to negate that effect. He sets 1 and passes turn, so this game is as good as over, baby. Switching our dudes to attack position, we just go straight into the battle phase, clear the Epsilon with Scarred, and then attack for game. He does activate this weird synchro trap card. I don't know what that is. We just chain Abyss to negate it, and that is gonna be GG. That was, however, round 2 of locals. Round 1 we played against Goblin Biker Punk Gold Pride, but we opened Nibiru every game, so we won that one off camera. Round 3 we played against Vanquish Soul Nouvelles, and we opened Droll both games. That kind of just carried, honestly. And then finally going into round 4, we're the only one undefeated at this point somehow, so we have the best tiebreakers. We lose a dice roll and eventually the match to Kami's Shark deck. I tried doing this stupid POV thing, but it didn't work out. Game 3, we were going second. We didn't open any hand traps, unfortunately, so, you know, that was our downfall. But you know what? That's fine, because our tiebreakers carried us to first place, baby. We won the first Genesys locals with Red Dragon Archfiend.